Hi, Assalamualaikum and greetings to all my friends. My name is Al-Husna binti Darmis, my metric number 269800. In this video, I will discuss about project life cycle, activities involved during construction project, key players, project planning and controlling, and then lastly about a successful construction. As you may be already aware, there are 4 stages of the project life cycle, namely initiation, planning, execution, and closure. And in this video, we will discuss this stage in detail, including what these stages are and what are the steps taken during this stage. The project life cycles refers to the 4-step process. This is the standard project life cycle most people are familiar with. The project life cycles provides a framework for managing any type of project within an organization. In the initiation phase of the project, one identify the need, problem, or opportunity and brainstorm ways the team can meet this need, solve this problem, or seize the opportunity. During this step, one figures out an objective for the project, determine whether the project is feasible, and identify the major deliverables for the project. Steps for the project initiation phase may include the following: identifying the primary problem of project, identifying scope, identifying deliverables, which is defining the project or service to provide. Planning. In this phase, break down the larger project into smaller tasks, build a team, and prepare a schedule for the completion of assignments. During this phase, organizations create smaller goals within the larger project, making sure each is achievable within the time frame. Smaller goals should have a high potential for success. Steps for the project initiation phase may include the following. First is creating a project plan, creating workflow documents or process maps, estimating budget and creating a financial plan, gathering resources, anticipating risk and potential quality roadblocks. Next is execution. The execution phase turns the plan into action. The project manager's job in this phase of the project management life cycle is to keep work on track, organize the members, manage timelines, and make sure the work is done according to the original plan. The steps for the project initiation phase may including the following, which is creating tasks and organizing workflows, briefing team members on tasks, communicating with team members, clients, and upper management, monitoring quality of work, and lastly, to managing budget. Closure. In the closure phase, provide final deliverables, release project resources, and determine the success of the project. Just because the major project work is over, that doesn't mean the project manager's job is done. There are still important things to do, including evaluating what did and did not work with the project. Steps for the project initiation phase may including the following. First is analyzing project performance, analyzing team performance, documenting project closure, conducting post-implementation reviews, and lastly, accounting for used and unused budget. Next is activities involved during construction project. Marking and grading. Marking is one of the first construction activities, which involve marking the area of the plot for reference. This helps the workers to always be able to orient themselves in terms of their workspace. Second is excavation. This is a fairly broad term. There are several different types of construction activities in excavation. In general, the term involves moving earth or rocks out of a certain area to prepare it for construction. This includes basement excavation, which digs the earth out to prepare for a basement to be built. It also includes mud, rock, and topsoil excavation, all of which include removing the substance from the workspace. The third is concreting. This process of pouring concrete is another major activity in construction. It is often used for the base of buildings, for roads, bridges, pipes, and many other applications. One of the reasons it has become so popular in this construction industry is that concrete is easy to make it large in quantities, and it changes states so that it's easy to work with and manipulate. 4 is carpentry. Carpentry is the general cutting and installation of materials that will be used for the construction of a structure. It used to be a word that described individuals working with wood specifically. But now, carpentry means working with several different materials. Next activities is brick masonry. Bricks have been used in construction for decades and are still used often today as a highly efficient material. Craftsmen lay bricks by making sure they are laid in the right way so that the structure is strong. For example, laying each brick one on top of the other allows for cracks to go all along the entire wall. If the bricks are offset, as you will often see, it makes severe cracking of the mortar less likely. The last activity is plumbing. In structures that require plumbing, there are specific plumbing activities that must occur to ensure they will function properly. This includes putting in piping and fixtures for both incoming potable water and outgoing waste. First is owner. Owner is also called client. Owner is the person who actually arranges money for a particular project. Owner is a real instinct who has to launch idea. Owner may be a person or government. He provides fund. He is funding agency for the project. Scope definition is also provided by the owner. The second is construction manager, which is CM. Construction manager is the person who actually coordinates the construction process on behalf of the owner. Construction manager is not common in some countries. Usually in other countries, client assigns construction work to a construction manager who deals and manages all the things related to construction. General contractor. General contractor is the person who actually executes the contract. He actually negotiates this contract with client and responsible to change dream of owner into physical shape. Contractor is assigned the whole job with directions from engineers and clients. There are some tasks performed by general contractor, which is assured to work to be complete on time he specified, arrange labor force, and use the tool and plant at the site, which has specified at the time of contract. 4 is subcontractor. There is a project player that also known as special contractor. They actually provide facilities to general contractor for the sub-projects. The tasks that performed by subcontractor are electric wiring, plumbing, air conditioning supply, woodwork, paint, providing soil for project, and steel fixing. The next key players is designer. Designer may be an architect or an engineer. He designed the project on the basis of his previous experience. Designer must have pre-qualification. Owner will select a designer which is expert in this work. Insurance companies. Insurance provide protection to third parties against risk. The risk is in construction project are very large, so insurance is very important to provide protection from incurring large losses in the event of risk. They are the companies which provides bid bond facility, performance bond, payment bond by the contractor to the owner. Other key players is suppliers. A supplier is a person or business that provides a product or service to another entity. The role of a supplier in a business is to provide high quality products from a manufacturer at a good price to a distributor or retailer for sale. Suppliers for design and construction in the construction industry is a very general term which refers to organization contract as part of the delivery of a built asset. They are actually the people who provide construction materials such as bricks, concrete, and cement. Lastly, the key player is construction. Construction is a high hazard industry that comprises a wide range of activities involving construction, alteration, and annual repair. Construction workers engage in many activities that may expose them to serious hazard, such as falling from rooftops, unguarded machine, being stuck by heavy construction equipment, electricians, silica dust, and asbestos. What is project planning? Project planning is a discipline addressing how to complete a project in a certain time frame. Usually, we define stage and design resources. One view of project planning divides the activity into this step, which is setting measurable objectives, identifying deliverables, scheduling, and planning tasks. The first component of project plan is scope. The scope determines what a project team will and will not do. It takes the team's vision, what stakeholders want, and the customer's requirements, and then determines what is possible. As part of defining the project scope, the project manager must set performance goals. The second is budget. Project managers look at what manpower and other resources will be required to meet the project goals to estimate the project's cost. The third is timeline. This reveals the length of time expected to complete each phase of the project and includes a schedule of milestones that will be met. Next is project controlling. Effective project control is used to deliver timely project information, allowing managers to take corrective measures to keep the project on track. Project control monitors and compares plan objectives, requirements, risks, schedules, and budgets against what is actually being delivered. Flaws in the business analysis will directly equate to major challenge and variance in the project. Project control involves the regular review of metrics and reports that will identify variance from the project baseline. The variants are determined by comparing the actual performance metrics in the execution phase against the baseline metrics assigned during the planning phase. And lastly, these variants are incorporated into control processes to evaluate their meaning. The project management body of knowledge identifies the core controlling processes as integration, change control, scope change control and scope verification, schedule control, risk monitoring, quality control, cost control, project progression, and performance reporting. There are a range of monitoring and control techniques that can be used by project managers, including the metric correlates the relationship between two baseline documents. This makes the project tasks more visible. It also prevents new tasks or requirements being added to the project without approval. A control chart monitors the project's quality, review and status meeting further analysis, problems, finding out why something happened. They can also highlight any issues that might happen later. To be a successful construction, you must create a flow communication. Communication is essential to every phase of any construction project. Establish a flow of communication with everyone on the ground and every stakeholder and supplier in the plant. This transparency will make the process smoother and will reduce the number of emails and phone calls whenever a problem arises. Second, you must make a habit of continuous planning. Construction project managers should start planning long before actual construction begins and continue revising and developing plans until the project ends. The design, pre-construction, and procurement stage of a construction project each require extensive planning. The third way is to observe and ask questions. Field and elements can dramatically impact the workflow of construction projects. There will be many times when you need to actually see an issue in person before you can resolve it. Administering and managing a successful project requires continuous improvement and learning. A great deal of communication may be streamlined, but the work still requires regular site visits and conference with the contractors and designers on the ground. 4 is budget projects with a work execution platform. In construction, the permits, wages, materials, and equipment needed for projects are often exchanged between an array of financial sources and vendors. From initial bidding process to the project closeout, construction project management are responsible for tracking and monitoring all costs, especially as they relate to initial budgets. Even relatively small construction projects contain hundreds of moving parts and individual costs, so to remain effective, you need to use software that can also help you manage costs as you move through the key phase of construction budgeting. Lastly, is to embrace automated reporting system. No construction project manager has the time to reply to hundreds of emails in a day or use the phone to call and address every question about budgets and progress. In addition to concentrating comments and schedules, you can cut down further correspondence by implementing automated reporting systems. Construction project management requires the weekly distribution of various spreadsheets and status reports, and automated delivery tools will save significant time over the span of the build. This automation will ensure the right reports go to the right people on time, allowing you to focus on other tasks and communication. That's all from me. I hope what I'm sharing you just now can give you new knowledge, and I hope you can share the knowledge to your other friends. Thank you.